Welcome back, and let's continue with our course on spiritual growth. Lesson 3 is called The Dangers of Distraction. Our culture is designed to keep us distracted. So what does this word mean, distract? So to distract means to pull apart or to pull off center, to scatter our vital forces. If you think of social media, advertising, all the quick changing images on your screen, whether it's a movie, whether it's the news, it's all fast moving and keeps us from really settling in to any one thing. So distraction has a purpose, and it's to turn us into impulsive consumers, which keeps our economy going, and we are losing a lot while the economy gains a lot. We are losing a core vitality within us. Distraction also makes us anxious. We have no place to settle, no place to be at peace. There's this constant need to scan and scroll, to get more news feed, to hear more noise, to have more visual input and stimulation, where the soul really has no place to settle down and be at peace and be at one with itself. So distraction is a very deadly thing for us. I'm going to say spiritually deadly for us in our lives. So what is the opposite of distraction? It's what I call paying attention, being absorbed in what the moment demands. So paying attention and being absorbed is an activity drenched in vital information. Once a week when I go on my hikes, I don't hike with anyone else. I don't want to be distracted by conversation or anything that would pull me off of my activity at that time, which is to be drenched in the vital information of the forest, to hear the wind and the breeze rustling through the tree canopy, and to hear and notice the song of the northern flicker or the chickadees or whatever birds may be calling at that time, to hear something rustling in the underbrush and to notice brother trail snake coming out to cross the path. I want to be drenched in that vital information. When I'm distracted, I can't be. And most of life is lost on us because of that. Jesus repeatedly says, stay awake, pay attention. He tells his disciples this very often. And we also see Jesus actually absorbed, oftentimes absorbed in prayer, where he is completely present to the moment at hand and to what is demanded of him in that time. So his cautionary words, stay awake, and his own practice of being absorbed offer us vital information for our own lives. He's modeling something for us. Peter also was absorbed and not distracted until he was. If you recall the scene in Matthew chapter 14, where Jesus is completely absorbed in prayer, he is actually processing the loss, the death, the beheading of his forerunner, John the Baptizer. And this is finally his chance to go deeply into prayer. And I picture him so deeply absorbed in prayer that eventually he gets up to walk and walks until he reaches the edge of the shore and continues to walk and is walking on the sea, completely absorbed in prayer. And it happens that there's a storm on the sea at that night, at that late hour in the night. And his disciples are in the boat. They see him, and they think it's a ghost. And they cry out in fear. And Jesus says, no, it's me. Do not be afraid. That's what absorption and not being distracted can look like, that you are deeply present to the need of the soul in that time. And Jesus certainly was. And so, of course, Peter says, Lord, if that's really you, he's discerning the spirits there, tell me to come to you across the water. Jesus says, come, and Peter gets out of the boat. He is completely absorbed, completely focused on his Lord, who calls him to walk to him, completely absorbed, until he looks down at the impossibility of it and he falls in the brink. Jesus has to haul him out, but Peter actually was that absorbed, responding to the invitation of his Lord to come and be with him. We are meant to be that absorbed, completely given in attention to the one who calls us. So I explore this image of Jesus and Peter often. It's a core story for me in my teaching and my speaking. And I write about it also in my book, Dare to Believe, Rise Up to Act. So we too are absorbed and not distracted until we are. We become distracted by our inadequacies, by our fears. We become distracted by our hesitations, by all the reasons why we can't move ahead, we can't try this new thing, we can't go there, we can't rise up and act in ways that the times demand. We just become absorbed in our fears. And of course, the trickster loves it when we're trapped in that path of distraction. We forget our agency in the Holy Spirit. And the trickster will do anything to keep us from remembering our agency in the Holy Spirit, baptized and anointed as we are in that Spirit of the risen Christ. So there's a tremendous battle going on for our attention. And we would do well to be mindful of that battle and to simply let go of the distractions and remember what it is that we need to be paying attention to, and then to give our time and attention to that. So we can ask ourselves, why is paying attention and being absorbed and vital to my spiritual growth? Why is it vital to my spiritual growth? And the answer is because the magnitude of your mission demands your attention. And I want to give you that phrase, the magnitude of your mission. You may not have thought recently about your mission in life, but I want you to think about it now. Your mission has a great magnitude. You're not here just sort of for something. You are here because your mission has a great weight to it and demands your attention. What I often tell my people is the world is counting on you to stay focused and present to what the moment demands. The world is counting on you to be faithful to that mission and to pay attention to it and to live deeply within it. The world is counting on you. The world that you touch is counting on you to pay attention. So I offer you this practice. You can ask yourself, what pulls me off focus? Is it my pets? Is it the ping of a text coming in? Is it a need to rescue a family member? What pulls me off focus? Where at the end of the day, I just say, I meant to do so many things, but I don't know where the time went. So you can also ask yourself, once you've identified what pulls you off focus, what boundaries am I willing to set? Setting boundaries is not easy because somebody gets their feathers ruffled. You're not going to give your full attention to somebody or something. And then the important question also is, what's my accountability plan? Who am I going to report to? How am I going to report my progress in being absorbed and not distracted. So you can set up the plan. That's your homework. I want you to set up your plan to be focused and paying attention and not distracted. So lesson 4 is going to explore feminine and masculine spiritualities, which matter very much in your life and how you grow. So I hope you will join me. See you soon. Dare to believe.